continuing to put up major fights. We're looking to see if they can hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, let's see what they propose here. And I really like the way the game was played on game one. They actually recognized the spot perfectly. 2 people playing Syndra, 2 people playing Kog'Maw, fighting it out for the last place, and 2 people playing flexible. Michael going for the Frost, didn't work, but he punished the rest of the lobby for tempo in the early game, and that actually could have made the difference also in the HP balance.
Now we see our start Prismatic finale. So we'll have to keep our eyes trained for those Prismatics on.
Are you a Prismatic person, Cass?
I like them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have fun.
Okay.
But like I don't compete in this game, you know? I cast. So I like the crazy fun thing because it's more
fun.
Do
you
like
the Syndra early for Relic also?
No.
No?
No. Well, for Relic, I will show
Orb
my
Syndra?
America's
That's
bias.
funny also. That's cool.
And Relic played Syndra phenomenally in the previous game. We'll get to see it once more. Relic gonna commit to this right out the gates. I think Orb Syndra is kind of, it's telling you something. It's telling you, hey, it's time to complete the 2-0 over Falcons. I think that's what it's telling Relic right now.
Yeah, I like the spirit about Falcon. They are very composed, and they started talking a little more. Normally, when the start of the game, the previous game, they were not talking, but now even with the loss, their communication at least improved a little. I don't know if it improved. It augmented. It's more a little now. And Toronto, I really want to highlight that they're always talking. It's a calm. It's not like they're aggressively going up on each other, but they are making sure they have all the information they need on every stage.
Yeah, Xiaoge going to be able to pick up a Kassadin 3 multi-striker early game. Played the multi-strikers very well in the previous game. Using it to tempo into Kalista. We actually thought he was going to crash and burn a little quicker than he did, but able to find a replacement Kalista, get it upgraded, get the Pyro Emblem, made a lot of very strong plays to give his team a shot, narrowly missing out on that second place. A desperate plea, the only thing that stood in his way.
Yeah, remember, we just saw the placement there, so Wolf and Zero Tenacity already with the ramp up for the next stage, and now we're seeing the augment selection. The Pilfer that he got in the end. Pilfer. Yeah. So additional economy. Remember, this is an augment that whichever unit you kill first, in the next round you will get that unit. So you get additional gold ramping up every second. So very, very important, not only for you, but to hold a unit for the rest of the lobby also.
All right, Robin, gonna get Pilfer of his own. Relic, having that Syndra goes, you have my bow, which I think is a very solid pickup alongside the Syndra. You get a bow, but also the additional attack speed, get that stacking right away.
Yeah, and so important that now Syndra BIS, the best items you can get her are 3 attack speed item or 3 mana generation items that the beast, no one is itemizing now pure HP into her. Now we see Robin with Dragon early. We haven't seen him much, so there it is. The big old guy. I really would like to see him in League of Legends also.
Nomsy?
Yeah, the Nomsy. Very preferred. There's a school of Nomsy, the Church of Nomsy, someone says. And Dragon is a scenery that I really wanted to perform cast. Normally 2 Dragons maybe in early game to get the wound healing, but in the late game no one's played so far in this set 3 Dragons. But since this is the start of the set, the Magic and Mayhem, I think there will be a huge evolution of the meta. I think it's a beautiful set, and we will have some crazy things to talk about also in the future.
Have you heard about the legendary multicaster Pyro Smolder, where you need both emblems to make it work?
The bipolar Smolder? I got it with the Pyro. I didn't have him with the multi-striker. That seems nice.
All right, but we are going to see, hey, we've seen this before, but we saw it from replay. We got Mittens Ginsu, this time on a Warwick, potentially a multi-striker's angle as well from this side. So
yeah,
you see that getting kind of slammed down. So maybe G2 will say, hey, my spot is better. Xiaoge, I'm going to need you to step away from this line.
Yeah, Jax is normally not a carry, but makes more sense for him to make the hold. He can get a remover later and hold him for the multi-striker. And now this way he can make tangle. So that's actually the most important for him. Going up against, here we go, Ice against Replay in the early game. Let's see a little of the units. He has already an Ayla on the other hand, and a Shapeshifter now for Replay. And with the possibility, we know that when we go for this, I think that's the hero augment of Elise. So that will be very cool to see in terms of Replay. We'll see confirmation now.
I think that's the Bramble. The Bramble upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why he's got that Bramble on the Elise as well.
Cool. And now here we go again. So it will be here we go with the Syndra and maybe against Relic, who is the one who had it. So these are the 2 players that will go with this tier S comp. now going with the Solarium very, very early into the game, a lot of shields. And normally when you have the Solarium, you want the Vanguard. So the additional healing of the additional shield will give you a lot of durability, so you get that ramp up with the scenery. So very good position for him, and already telling the rest of the lobby he's playing Syndra Vanguard, and he's not peering away.
And he's letting the Syndra get pilfered here to continue to try and deny it from Relic. Getting
Wow,
picked up
that's
by
so
Xiao
good.
Ge. We just saw that being put in the front, noticing that Xiao Ge was in the pool. So it's at least 2 gold,
Wow.
and at best, you're denying Syndras from the pool.
Such a good play to see. And now taking advantage of everything you can. As we said, this is one of the teams, the two of the teams that have most screams in the whole placement here. They have screamed by themselves. They are screaming the 4v4 since maybe 3 weeks ago when they're both in bootcamps. Toronto Ultra made bootcamps in Madrid. And of course, the players represented for China have been together for a long time now, getting together. Maybe they were not friends in the past, but they play together so much that they know each other. So, and I really would like to know the internal story that they have. If they have friendship, what's happening in their head. I know the story for Toronto, but I think when we saw the energy, the way they were talking, the pacing, I think there's at least a very good relationship within the Falcons.
Yeah, they seem locked in, and they seem like they're playing together. That last game was so incredibly close. I don't think anybody on that team can be upset with the way they played. I think they played a phenomenal game. At the end of the day, Relic was able to cap out even higher just by having that Syndra online from very early on. And we'll see a couple of win streakers in this lobby. 2 more rounds to go. Replay and Chi2 are the ones, and you can see why with that Jax, those items being so insane. And on the other side, playing around this Bramble Augment, which gives a lot of early power, and it's on this double Shapeshifter setup, which has been so good at being a crux of players' early games.
Yeah, the early game is so amazing. Maybe the fallout in the late game for the Shapeshifter, for sure. 6 Shapeshifter is better than 8, for example, and there will be now the possibilities. Robinson with the, again, with the Kog'Maw, already with the Kog'Maw, already with the Tristana, and on the left, we see who will be his competition. Is Ice already slamming now the Infinity, and that will be the IE, and that will be the contested. So very clean. Normally in the rest of the game, we see maybe 4 people playing Syndra, and then someone pivoting out into the Karma, but now we're seeing actually something more organized. When someone has the pot, they respect that spot, and one person from the other team contests, and it's very organized. I think this is the future of the 4v4, and this is the way we will see gameplay from now on.
All right, well, Relic and Robin are the 2 full loss streakers here. It doesn't feel like anyone from Falcons can go for the, full sell board and try and stop them. They're all kind of playing a more tempo-oriented style, and I don't think it would make sense to sell any boards. Gets the Nunu, because if he does run into Robin, he wants Robin to be able to pilfer this Nunu.
Nice.
Very good play. At the worst, if they break each other's streaks, they at least give a Nunu over. Doesn't happen this time around, but we do see that Relic gets to keep the loss streak, and so will Robin.
Okay, so this is perfect for Toronto. Remember, lose streak is okay. In terms, you maintain it and you get so much economy. I was talking to Relic yesterday, and he told me normally that's the winner spot, to go for the lose streak in the early game and then have the chance to do a big rollout for Syndra, stabilize, and then take away the units as much as possible with the value rolling. So Robin going for the Kog'Maw, he will probably do a roll down here on 3-2. And finally, itemization here. No Nunu for him, as you were saying, trying to get him for the pilfer in the previous round. Didn't accomplish that, so now maybe trying to go for the 3 items into the Kog'Maw. That's the main carry. Remember, Tristan is not amazing. And he will go already with the Ginsus on the Syndra. He will generate so many stacks here. That's amazing for him. And the and there it is.
Wow.
In the orb.
You see the
he
pop-up
celebrated there with the fist. Syndra 2 coming in for him with the orb. So amazing. The Kassadin, we haven't seen her performing so well. Syndra is the star. And Kassadin maybe only a transition if you want to get encounter in the early.
Oh, and then another in the shop. He's at 5 copies already. It's
He's laughing.
He's laughing.
He's laughing. He
Here
knows.
we go. Kind of an all-star in the last game. Yes, it was just the top 4, but with the Kog'Maw spot, he had the fact that he top 4 from there was insane.
Wow.
Once again, having a spot to be a hero for his team, this time on the Syndra. This time not just playing for the highest placement he can imaginably scrounge up from a terrible spot. This time having the premier spot to try and win for his team.
This is interesting also for Shago. He has the Syndra. Obviously, he will not be the one going for the reroll Syndra, but he can use it in the early game, maybe to avoid really forgetting it and maybe transition this Syndra into a Karma. We didn't saw Karma in the previous game, and we know that's the TRS comp for Epic for FALCONS, so that will probably be the transition for Shago.
Yeah, we'll see if Replay can hold on to this streak now. Slams the Sunfire Cape even, just slamming every single thing he can, right? Guard Breaker slam, Sunfire Cape slam. Flexible to what compositions he can play, and just the strongest board possible, keeping the win streak, keeping the pressure on the opposing team. Relic and Robin both on the full losses. They're both re-rolling for 2 costs. We have to see this roll down from these 2 players. They're going to do it, that simultaneous roll down, taking out the different units that each other doesn't need.
Okay, there, next item, Augment here, Mentorship here. Great Augment for Robin, getting additional power to the rest of the comp. And as you were saying, very good the way he's performing for them. Replay with the perfect win streak, and Relic in the bottom with the perfect lose streak together with Michael. So together with Robin. So perfect spot for them. A lot of generation here on the roll down, trying to go for the unit. So Relic stabilizes at least with the Syndra 2 items for her, 2 mana generation or attack speed items. So this is perfect for Relic. He's stable. He didn't break the 30 goal. He has the lose streak, and now he can start to go for the win streak with a Syndra that already has some additional stack in her mind.
Yeah, great for Relic. Have to recognize, here we go, spot of really high rolling these Syndras, and rolling all the way down feels like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Relic should keep the option of pushing levels with Syndra 2 open to himself, instead of locking into having to roll on 6.
Yeah. So naturally, if he gets one more, maybe somebody rolling, but as you said, we know who's the one who goes for the win out, so very interesting to see and how he will manage the HP in the late game. So in the right, we see Replay. There's a Kassadin on the other side trying to go. That Mitten Kassadin also 2-star, so they all roll here to stabilize. And Robin, I think it will fall down. The Kog'Maw still Kog'Maw 1. So even though he rolled deep, it's only 11 gold. He didn't even got the Kog'Maw 2-star. So this is very bad news for Robin.
Yeah, tough for Robin not find that. Gets a Jinx upgrade here, so can play that instead of the Tristana. Doesn't have to roll for Trist, can just roll for Cog. There is also the option of him trying to play this from tempo.
Yep.
It's a little bit tougher with Kog'Maw. You really need that Kog'Maw 3. But we could see Robin try and play at least to level 7 and then roll for the Jinx as well. Not a lot of gold in this spot to do so, though, and not a ton of HP to work with.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Jinx in this comp because you don't get there. But normally that's the win out of the Kog'Maw comp. You need to hit early the Kog'Maw, hit early the Nunu and the front with the Rumble 3, and then go to level 7 and get the Jinx 3. That's the normal way to cap up the board, but obviously they don't let you get there, and the comp still maintains only with the Kog'Maw as the carry.
And Ice is going to go ahead and contest, right? He's going to go into the Kog'Maw composition. We see the slams onto the Jinx instead. We'll see if he ends up just pushing to 7 before rolling at all, because we already see that Robin has the 2-stars, so you're not going to deny him too aggressively. And you have an HP lead right now, so you need to try and play a little bit more tempo, and then go from there, having the 50 gold. We'll have to see how Ice decides to play that spot, because he's the one whose job it is to keep Robin in 8th place.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who managed to get that hero spot for both of the players. We have now possibilities. Here we go, obviously, for Team Falcons, and Toronto still lacking that chance. Michael, obviously, with the green streak, could be the one maintaining it, but again, he's playing tempo, so he needs to have a real scenario, a real way of looking at a win out comp. And for now, good tempo for Toronto, but better scenario to win out for the Falcons.
Ice had a spatula, so Relic is kind of forced to take it because it's Robin and Relic picking first, and Robin needs more items right now to stabilize than Relic does. Relic is in a relatively strong position, but they can't let Ice get that Tactician's Crown for free, so Relic is forced to take the spatula, and it's generally not your favorite thing in the Syndra composition to see a spatula.
Yeah, he will try to look for another spatula and try to get a Tactician Crown, maybe go for additional units. Syndra is a board that you always can get something else in, either vertical Incantors or going even for more Vanguards is always amazing. Shago now showing the 5 Eldritch, so that Malphite will go into the game, getting good trial control, especially to the left of the field. And now we're going again with Sokka, going up against Replay.
Yep, we're going to see that Replay. Looks like this is Michael's board here on the win streak.
Yep. Michael Riri.
Hold on. He does have the unified resistance. He's got a lot of tanky stats. It looks like Michael's going to hold on to this streak, which is very good for the side of Toronto Ultra. Michael going to be that high-tempo player for this team.
Okay, it's good. So he maintains this 5-win streak, no one with a lose streak, so they are preserving HP. Is simply trying to manage here as the best as possible. So Michael, if he maintains one more cast, is very important. Getting 7-win streak coming up into the neutrals is so much economy for him. He can play tempo and go very fast to levels 8, even in 4-1 before the rest rolls. And with that additional gold that he has managed to generate, he can do anything. He can grief the rest of the players. He can maintain units to avoid a ramp up from the enemy. So this is a great position for him. And it will be even better, as we say, if he maintains the win streak.
Look at this, level 6, G2 rolled down, forecasted in, found 4 Kog'Maws, just holding them on the bench, denying Robin.
He has more Kog'Maw than Robin.
He does, yeah, and Ice on the other side, right, only having the 1 Kog'Maw, but gonna try and play around the Jinx, itemized it already, just gonna push levels, not gonna reroll the Kog, but just gonna hold on to those units and play them in the early stages, try and just utilize them to stabilize the board a bit, recognizing that his spot is not to win, his spot is just to continue to grief Robin, while G2 on the other side is griefing Robin, but also has a chance to try and go for the reroll multi-strikers. Only 3 Cassidy's though.
Is it enough for Michael? But no, he loses the win streak. This is huge for Falcon because now it's a more parity game. The parity is very advanced, it's balanced. So this is very, very huge. Here we go, it's the one with the win streak now, generating a lot of economy. And I think they are very balanced. No one is now getting the lead, and now the roll down, the early roll down in neutrals is very important. They know in 4-1 everyone's rolling, so they are value rolling now on neutrals to get additional items that they want, and then according to what they get, they will roll out again. So very good use here of the tempo and the timing for Cheetos.
Yeah, and we see here we go on the Syndra, just 2 copies away, quietly finding that unit. Haven't seen Relics set up for it either in a little bit. I know he was trying to lean towards that direction. However, Syndras are getting cut very heavily here. Just a couple more gold to roll. Here we go, gonna have to stop.
Yeah, he didn't got it. He really needed to get it here. So even though he got like 6 Syndras in the early game, the game didn't support him from there on. So a good high roll to avoid Relic to go for that win condition, but in the end, couldn't cap it, didn't have the luck there in the roll down. Now going up against also Toronto in the other part, so it's Michael going up against Here We Go.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tough for Here We Go because he stayed on 6 to roll for this and hasn't found it. He may start to lose a lot of HP, but fact is he's been on a win streak. The front line has been stable, and he's getting stacked up on the Syndra. So even though not able to hit and stuck on 6, he's able to salvage a lot of HP. Win streak goes down here. Michael stops it. Very important to continue to stop the flow of economy for Here We Go. But we'll see if it can get turned around, because now we've made it to that prismatic finale that we knew was coming up here. What's the pickup? Witchcraft emblem for replay.
Okay, with tempo play, probably going for the Karma Fiora as a possibility here for him, getting that.
Fiora.
Okay, there it is. Fiora 2 is very important for him because that's the items that he have, and the Witchcraft will allow him to spread as much damage as possible. And there's the Morgana, so huge for him. Morgana is the best Witchcraft in the game because it spreads the
debuff, right?
malediction, yeah, to all the team. So huge hits here for replay.
Massive pickup to go alongside this. Fully rewarded on that prismatic choice. Being able to get the extra Witchcrafts in. This does open up some potential to cap out the board heavily. We see the vertical being played by replay. 5 right now. He has the 6th in the emblem. Can use the Gwen as an item holder for it.
Yeah, there he goes. And now going up against Cheeto. Cheeto still with the Cassadin. He's lacking 2 still, but holding that comma. Now with 5 copies in the board, so Robin will not be able to hit that easily. And now replay is so strong. Now, so amazing, as you're saying, the Gwen holding up, and now going up only against that Nasus that is actually wrapping up. He's
looks like
down.
Cassidy's going to be able to deal with this. G2 able to stay on the win streak, stop replay, but replay has some high cap coming from this board if he can find all the upgrades. Still on Fiora 1, Gwen 1, just everything is 1 star.
Okay, now Relic is still with the Syndra. He decides it's not possible to go for the reroll, so now he's tranquil. He's simply going for a little more tempo. There's the Syndra once again. He will obviously hold it there in the store. And now with the level 8, he simply gets a Nora. So Nora, amazing units, giving additional damage to the Syndra and additional durability. So this will be more important for her, a fourth item, if you will, to ramp up a little more the damage now in the late game.
And big thing here, he's got the Spear of Piranha, which is insanely good for the Syndra. Best Radiant item in the game, and even though it's only Syndra 2, it's a lot of power. Going up against Replay, right, it's going up against his teammate. One of them is going to have to take another big hit, and they've been trying to hold on to this HP, but Falcons are coming out on top right now when it comes to the HP game. They have a ton more health than the side of Toronto Ultra.
Okay, once again there. So we said it, even though it's not Syndra 3, Syndra 2 is so strong that he's actually very performing here. And there's another Morgana that could give a little more into the depth of that witchcraft. So maybe a target to Grief there as a possibility. And now Robin going up with the rest of the comp. Robin, we see in the front, he has the Jinx, he has the Kog'Maw, but still not stabilizing enough. He's in the worst position of the team, so he only needs to avoid 8th, and I think his job is done. I think it will be very difficult for him to accomplish that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Ice is the one that they have to target, try and send to 8th on that 7-loss streak. Only 2 gold, level 8.
And he already has the Smolder. So you were talking about the bipolar Smolder with the Pyro and the Multi-Striker. He only has 1 Emblem right now, but he also has 2 other items. So Ice, right, even though it's only Smolder 1, with this great item, it's very, very hard to take him out. Also because he has more HP, but he's obviously in the contest with going 8th together with Robinson. So they're laughing. Good spirit there for Falcons. They're actually performing here. Roll down on the right for Robinson. He's not hitting once again. And here we go now with the Syndra 3. That's why he's so happy. And now going up against Robin. And 21, not enough to take him out, but it will certainly leave him only 1 HP or 1 life left into the later rounds.
Yeah, Robin got completely shut out this game. All of those Kog'Maws being held early. The griefing done incredibly well by Falcons, trapping Robin into this line, not letting him get anything done. Down to 1 life. He's going to go down for sure in one of the upcoming fights. Even Toronto Ultra probably should not try and protect Robin. They need to keep their HP as high as possible, and they need to play for the other 3 players. They're all currently winning, right? Replay, Relic, and Michael all found wins there. Just gotta let Robin go at this point. He's been held hostage by all of the CN players on Falcons. Yeah, it's a Nunu 3 now. It's not really going to do too much. And as you can see, Robin, in the time that he's going down, griefing the Kassadins. Because, yes, this is more gold. He could try and have hit the Nunu earlier, tried to find the Kog'Maw. Robin recognized that, you know what? I'm done. They got me.
Yeah.
I have to hold on to these Kassadins and try and slow down the rest of Falcons.
Okay, now the possibility of going. He's going up against Relic, and Relic is, I don't know how weak he put himself. The front lane doesn't look that strong. I think he might have taken up something, but maybe not enough. No, not for sure. So Relic will take out Robin in this stage, and now this is an 8. So the win condition, the first win condition that we now see for Toronto is to get 3 players of Falcon in the bottom 5, and that would be the way to go. Second hero here, and now Chitu with the Kassadin. This will probably go to a game 3.
Yeah, the Falcons doing a great job griefing and also finding their pickups, right? Here we go, you know, we saw laughing because the Syndras definitely got high rolled a bit, but G2, this has just been slowly getting towards that Kassadin. Robin was griefing it. Falcons find a way to get Robin out of there, and now those Kassadins come back in the pool, and G2 is able to convert and find that Kassadin 3. Meanwhile, you know, you've got Xiaoge just pushing levels, playing towards Temple, playing towards this Nami, Eldritch, playing towards 3-star Mordekaiser as a big carry for the composition.
Yeah, not only maintaining the base of the comp that now is playing again with a Nami. We haven't seen her as a main carry in the rest of the comp. Normally it's a support for the Karma. Karma didn't appear, Nami making the win, and as you said, the win more will be that Mordekaiser 3-star if he managed to get it. So a support Karma here, getting a little in, and good position for him. So tough pot for Toronto, and great spot for the Falcons to try to expand this series into a 3rd game.
Going up against a Replay, finds the Gwen upgrade, but still yet to find the Fiora. Has the Karma as well. some big upgrades can come through for Replay. There is capping potential to try and win this game. Fiora 2, Morgana 2, Karma 2. It can start to get there, but for now, it's not enough. And there's not a lot of health to work through, not only just on Replay himself, but on the entire team of Toronto Ultra. And so they can't really afford any losses right now.
Yeah, so much crowd control there for the Nami making the win. And now we finally see Michael with his tempo play. He started with good HP preservation and he's going with the Calista Flex. Borg here now, the Arcana going for the Hecarim, additional physical damage for the rest of the team. So ramping up all the damage possible. And now he changes. He finds the Seraph. So now he knows he bought a lot of charms. And now giving the Arcana emblem to the Seraph, this will enable the whole team to have additional true damage.
Still just on the Kalista 1 though, and on the other side we see Kalista 2, this comp but better. It is the Smolder as well, but the Pyro Emblem not on it because that is a Kalista 2, it's much stronger. Trying to get a lot of this damage out, but Michael's going to look to find another loss. Ice has stabilized down at 16, might be able to hold on even longer than Replay or Relic can, and Toronto Ultra can find themselves in a 7-8 once more. And this time it does not look like the 1-2 is in the cards.
Yeah, totally in control. The Falcons here in this game showing up again. With great gameplay. Even in the last round, we said it, game 1, even though it went to Toronto Ultra, the performance from the Falcons was totally amazing. And now, once again, with a very clear performance, being the favorite, the absolute favorites in this stage. And also with the 8th of Robin, now the position of Toronto is too difficult. Remember, if Replay goes 7th here, the only way for them to win will be Michael and Relic doing a holding hands 1 and 2. And now in this position, that scenario is very unlikely.
Replay versus Ice. We saw the upgrade, the swap to the Karma. Trying to get the Witchcraft there. Does it do enough to deal with the Kalista? Needing to shut down Ice to have any chance in this whatsoever, as the Falcons have been dominating this entire game. And this came from a start that was so good for Toronto Ultra. They had 2 loss streakers, 1 win streaker, whereas Falcons had nobody on full streaks going into the first neutrals, but they've been able to turn things around, especially with some of these big hits of the Syndra, of the Kassadin, and they might be looking to completely shut out Toronto Ultra with all 4 of those members making it into the top 4.
Yeah, I think Ice position, for me, he was at the best because he's actually using the Pyro Emblem in great place. He was performing well. He griefed Michael from the Kalista, avoiding him. We see Michael, he's still Kalista 1, and they actually perform amazing. Not only to grief the 2 costs, that is the normal thing. They grief Kalista for Michael. Michael was the one with the best tempo or ramp up, and he couldn't perform. And now he will bleed out, and there's no win condition. Now the win more for Shaga. See, he's laughing once again, very, very happy. They know they have the game under control.
They just pilfered him a Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Great team play from Falcons. That is so huge. That is probably one of the reasons he's been able to find so many copies and still have all this gold. Just when he runs into teammates, they're feeding him Mordekaisers. He's ramping up, finds the Eldritch emblem as well. Going to be able to get to 5 Eldritch pretty soon here on the level up. And Jalga going to be in such a great spot to continue out for this top 4. Michael going to have a lot of trouble getting through this Mordekaiser 3.
Yeah, and not particular comps that we've seen so much. So Ice with the Kalista, Shaga going with the Nami carry and performing this well. This is a statement for the rest of the field. Normally, no one is placing well with tempo compositions, and now getting this win with so much dominance, I think it will help so much the mental of them, and it will hurt Toronto Ultra. So actually, the 3rd game that we will for sure have right now will be very, very tough. We have seen Toronto Ultra only in a winning position. They haven't lost until now even 1 round. 2-0 in the first round, in the first series, and gaining or winning the first, and we see it in their physical performance. They're actually feeling the pain, but they're still talking. So it will be very good to see how will they adapt until the next game.
Yeah, they'll have to see how they can improve on the next one. We can hear them chatting back and forth still.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the strategy for the next game, as it looks like they will get absolutely crushed. This might be our first game where a team goes 4 players in the top 4. Absolute destruction of Toronto Ultra in this game number 2. So it looks like Relic is, going to go down to here we go. Absolutely brutal from this Falcon squad.
Yeah, there it is. So Relic goes down, Michael goes down. 4 in the top for Falcon. Total domination here. Obviously, it doesn't matter in the point because it's 1 point either way,
right.
But mentally you will feel crushed.
Yeah, it's like, crushing. I mean, you never had a chance in this game. Maybe that's for the best though, right? A close game loss can hurt you a lot. In this, Toronto Ultra, what if they just say, you know what, we got more dogged. Let's try again the next one. We know we can win. We won the first game and go from there. You can see Falcons laughing, having a good time. This is a good revival for them, right? They lost a crushing defeat where they put 2 of Toronto Ultra's members in 7th and 8th, and they couldn't hold the line against Relic and be able to stop them from getting that 1-2. And this time, they get to just dominate their opponent, and that's going to bring up the spirits of the Falcons. Both of them going into that final game are going to need to be at their very best.
Yeah, remember, this is a series that will get one of them into the playoffs. No matter the result, the loser will go to the loser bracket and a final chance to also achieve that quarterfinal possibility. So now Shago with the setup, he's very strong. He's only playing now 5 Eldritch. And I really want to highlight this comp because we normally don't see the vertical Eldritch performing now with the also a great legendary in the middle there. The Briar with 2-star, they're just having fun right now. We haven't seen much legendary, but I think it's because they're using so many resources in the early and mid game that no one gets to level 9. So at least having to see the performance of this is amazing. Morgana also, Morgana 2, we haven't seen her. And now it's simply a way of who's winning, who get the better AVP, and that will make a difference in the later games to see, I don't know, the MVP of the game, for example, but not much else to be played here as a competitive wise.
Well, yeah, I mean, we also, going back to the 5 costs, I mean, I think one of the big things is just we don't see them getting to level 9 because oftentimes we see them, yes, using resources in the early game, but also even when they go kind of faster to 8, they're just rolling on 8 repeatedly until they can cap their board, and it's just never happening. Like, it's getting to the point where these level 8s, they're just getting as strong as they can and either capping their board and then buying their opponent's units, and then or just trying to cap their board and not reaching it. So
yeah,
no matter what, they're spending
buying
way too much
charms.
extra gold.
You also have something to do with that gold.
Yeah.
There's so much things you can do that it doesn't make sense to idle for 5-6 turns when you're already past 4-5 in the round to simply try to go to a level 9 where a unit will not make the difference. It's more important to help the rest of the team and trying to accomplish the rest. Now we're enjoying these final boards. Write it down, chat. Now you can see how or additional possibilities, and not only the Syndra as the final cap board. So they're still laughing. And I would really like to know, I think later in production, we will really want to know the translation about what the Team Falcon is using. That would be great, great material because they're enjoying themselves. They're actually so happy about this result. And I think this will give them so much strength and trust for the next game.
Yeah, I mean, it's big, right? And we just have to wait for this game to play out. They're playing for that additional... It's a big reward, the MVP of the entire tournament when they get to the end, right? So definitely wanting to find that AVP. But I think for them, they're just happy. They've got the win on this game, too. They're still alive. This was their backs against the wall, and they really showed what kind of team they are by bringing out the biggest win in the tournament so far. And I think Falcons have to just be feeling great. They're a tournament favorite. They're coming in. They lost the first game so narrowly, and they dominate in the next one. Now they just have to get one more after this, and they can move on to the playoffs.
Yeah, Falcons, the favorite of this EWC. Remember, they are very high up there in points, and Teamfight Tactics gets an additional 1,000 points for the club championship. So that will be huge for them. And they keep laughing. I love it. They're still very, very happy with the performance, and now going up against the final carousel that we will have here. Here we go, also contemplating the rest, talking. I would also like to see Toronto to see if they're talking, what are they contemplating so far. And now, well, here we go, goes away. So Ice, Shaka, and Cheetos will be the one contesting that first place. Coming in that first place, coming up into the third game.
All right, well, let's talk about the next game then here, Hubei, right? What do you think Toronto Ultra needs to do in the next game to kind of bounce back from such a poor result in this game number 2?
I mean, it's more about how do you transfer what you already practiced into the game, right? So, for example, in the series that they won, the 2-0 against Once Pal, they said, okay, we played the way we've been playing on Scream, and the way the game went out, we were already in that spot 20, 30 times. So it's actually good for us. So what they need actually, as you said, a game plan from the start and the game to help them gain that game plan. In this case, we only saw tempo in the early game, but there wasn't like a particular direction. Besides Relic, that obviously he had the Syndra early, he could go for the cap out. Then when Here We Go got those like 6 Syndra, the game plan went aboard. So they tried to play tempo, they tried to go for something else. It wasn't enough, and now with the end of the game, Falcons with this